In this section, we will be working on understanding the different data points that will be required for making your HR dashboard. So those who have been into HR for longer duration of time, say even for 1 year or 2 years, they understand what kind of data the HR usually have. So for the students of MBA HR, those who are not able to are not aware of what kind of data we have, this is an important part of that. So when we are making a HR dashboard, we can assume that HR dashboard is very similar to what we call as the building that we see. Okay, the monument that we see. But behind the monument is the bricks, is the different, TMT bars, there is a cement, sand, etc. used in the case of constructing a good momentum or good, building. Okay, so when we are talking about the HR dashboard, the fundamental behind or work that is represented in the form of HR dashboard comes from the data that is available for HRs. Okay, so let me give you I prepared a small database that is just for a dummy database. Okay, so we have got the employee code, and then we have got the employee number, grade, then we have the employment type, which you can see that we have got four different types of employment type. Okay, so this has been derived from this entire HR data board. Okay, then we have the gender, they have the department designation, we have the head of department, then we have got the posting appraisal score of 2021 that we'll be putting up. Okay, and the confirmation date, contract period, and so on. Okay, so we have got different information that is available with us. Okay, now it's when anyone is designing any HR dashboard, they would say that they need to have some kind of instrument that would add the data to the lowest part of this the entry data entry that need to be done. Okay, say for example, we have some people who have joined the organization on 12th of August. Okay, but if we need to join the next employee, that will be employee EMP number or employee number at 144, that need to come after employee number 14443. Okay, and then we have to enter the different data. Usually what would anyone would suggest that you need to have a visual basic program to design or make a form. Okay, and as I promised you in the previous section or in the introduction to the HR dashboard, that we will be avoiding using any kind of visual basic application and not make your life a little bit of complicated. I'll try to make it as simple as possible. Okay, because there are something that is inbuilt in the Excel 2016 onward. Okay, so we can use those part rather than going into or writing up entire coding. Okay, so if you right click on the top part, okay, you will see here, okay, that we have got more commands here. Okay, if you go to more commands, yeah, you will find the option that choose command from. Okay, now if you drop down to the choose command from, there is an option that command not in ribbon. Okay, if you select that, you will find option that is called forms. Okay, as I have already installed it, so it will be not visible here. Okay, so you will find as forms, and then you just need to add, because I have added here, you can see that the form is there. Okay, so this data form form Excel is the format for that. Okay, so this will be there in your customized ribbon access, and once you click OK, you will find that form here. Okay, now always remember that first thing is that all the data that you have in case of your entry database is initially in the form of range. Okay, the first thing that you need is to convert that range into a table. Okay, the benefit of converting that table is that you will be able to do the calculation in the first row, and the entire table will be doing the calculation for the entire other rows. One benefit of that, and another benefit is that you will able to give the address for that. Okay, so for example, if I want to display what data we have got, so we have got data entry here. Okay, so just you can go to the formula name manager. Okay, and see that we have got data entry. Okay, and once the data entry is there, we this is dedicated to the entire form. Okay, so if you click on this, this is referring to the entire cell of the workbook. Okay, so that is how the naming is done. Okay, and even if you want to check that, you can go to the last part of that. Okay, and it will be displayed here in the form of data entry. Okay, now data entry comprises of this entire data. Okay, that is the benefit of address, and it is very easy to compare that. Okay, so we have got data entry here, and then we have got this data sheet. Okay, now this has been converted into table. So once it is converted into a table, you will find here as one another ribbon, that is table design. Okay, so we it's basically the table design that is should be in a banded row by default. Okay, when we convert it, and then you can use this as a so you can do the summarization and everything, and this table name is data underscore entry. Okay, so once you have done that, this form will be activated. Okay, now this particular form or data form will be working only on the data table. It will not work on range. Okay, so if this is a range, say for example, this is a range we have, and we try to put that, that cannot be applied on a selected range. Select a single range cell in a range, or try again. So if you can put here and try to do that, okay, we will be getting this small range. Okay, so it is always advisable to convert it into data, the table, and then use the data form. So once the data form, the maximum number of variables, so this we can call as variables. The employee code, employee item, we can call as an item or call as a variable. Okay, so the maximum number of variable that a particular Google form, your forms can take place is 32. Okay, I would advise you to keep the form at maximum of 30 number of entries or 30 number of items. Then we can do further calculation on that, and then we can have the further detail. So we can have we will be getting this form here. Okay, now let's understand this data entry form here. Okay, so we have got the employee code that is there reflected from there, then employee name, okay, grade, then date of employment type, date of birth, date of joining, sex, then we have department, designation, HODs, and so on. Okay, so we have got different information that is available here. Okay, so we can do some calculation. If we want to add a new data, okay, then just click on new. Okay, it will create a blank form for you. Okay, so whatever the number you enter, say for example I enter EMP 1444. Okay, and press enter. So you will find that it has been entered into the last part. Okay, it has entered into the last part here. Okay, because it was having some values here. Okay, so you can just delete that. So by default, the data was earlier till 1499, so it has entered into 1500. Okay, so whatever the data we have, if we have some data here, earlier we were having some data here. Okay, so it was taking as that. So you can just delete this all this data, so it will be there at next level. Okay, so when you enter again a form here, you get here. So we put it as new. So we put as EMP 1445. Sorry, 1445. So it will be added to the next level. Okay, that is how the addition of the employees takes place. Okay, now if you want to change the employees, say for example, if you want to change the detail of this particular employee, okay, so you can go to the form, okay, and clear this all the datas. So we have to search for criteria. So we want to search for the employment type, or say for example, we want to search for those posted at the in the Department of Electrical. Okay, so we want to search for those courses into electrical. Okay, and search find next. Okay, so it will give the first employee in the list who has got the employment as electrical. Okay, that's involuntary. The person has left the organization, involuntary. Okay, so similarly, we can have the all the detail that is there. Okay, and in case we want to clear the data, or say for example, we want to find any person starting from a particular number or name, say, because as of now this data is a dummy data, so we do not have the name here. So we can have, say, star 144, okay, and find as next. So employee 144 is available here, so it is fine. So is there any 144 available again? We have got employee 1440. Okay, and do you have any other employees? Yes, 11441. And so we actually, wherever when we put the star here, it will find that employees, and we can make the amendment changes here. Okay, and say for example, we have to update the appraisal score of the employee. Okay, so we can just find out that employees and the appraisal score of that. Okay, so the data that is prepared here is based on this particular information. Okay, whatever the dashboard we will be making, I will be practicing on this dummy data. Now this organization, or this particular data that we have worked on, okay, in this you will see that in the data entry we do not have anything called compensation here. Okay, so what I have tried to devise is that the appraisal process is based on the increment or the appraisal score that employee is having. Okay, so whenever we have got the appraisal score, we will be having just putting up the appraisal score, and then we can get the confirm, the compensation of that employee. In case we are not having anything, we can go into the employee master. Okay, and then we can add this particular date. All the information that we are presenting here, or doing the data entry into our HR data board. Okay, the minimum data that is required. Some more information you can put in there. For example, we have not I've kept the qualification as blank. Okay, so other forms or other different items you can put here, but always remember that for form to work, it's maximum of 32 items that is possible. Okay, I would again suggest you to keep the number of items under 30, and then we can have the other different forms of the data entry on the basis of initial level of calculation. Okay, so all this data that is entry, you can put it in a different Excel sheet, and from this Excel sheet it goes into employee master. Okay, that what we call as the employee master. So this employee master is basically the data that is it will be capturing from different sources. So you see here that whatever with the new employee number that we have entered, that is 1444 and 1555, actually get entered into our employee master database. Okay, that is the benefit of that. Okay, so we have got this different number. Okay, so we need to enter the grade and everything, and that will be going into the master database. Okay, so in next section we will be working on the for employee master database and do some basic calculation to move forward.